Hey everyone, welcome back. Ready for another deep dive? You know how it is, whether you're prepping for a quiz night or just letting your curiosity lead the way. We love to unpack some fascinating stuff. And today we're taking on a track that's, well, let's just say it's iconic.
It's definitely got that staying power.
Jay-Z's 99 Problems. We've all heard it, but trust me, there's a lot more to it than meets the ear. We're going beyond just the surface lyrics.
Oh, yeah.
We've got the lyrics themselves from Litres.com and the song's Wikipedia page to guide us.
Great sources.
And we're going to see how this one track became, well, kind of like a cultural touchstone. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. 99 Problems. With story, social commentary, a piece of art, all in one. And it's got that beat. No, you just can't help but nod your head to.
Yeah, it's got that irresistible groove. Okay, so that chorus, right? I got 99 problems, but a bitch ain't one. I mean, come on, it's instantly recognizable, right? But did you know those exact words, they actually came from another rapper?
You're talking about Ice-T, right?
Exactly, Ice-T.
His 1993 song, also called 99 Problems, it's wild how the same phrase can have such a different meaning depending on who's saying it and how they use it. Ice-T's version was more, boastful, focused on a different kind of problem altogether.
Huh. So it's like he laid the groundwork, and then Jay-Z came in and kind of flipped the script.
Totally. And to make things even more interesting, Ice-T actually re-recorded his version in 2014. Yeah. And he used a style that was really similar to Jay-Z's.
Oh, wow. Really?
Yeah, almost like he was reclaiming the phrase, adding another layer of interpretation.
That's so cool. It's like this musical conversation across the years. But, okay, let's zero in on Jay-Z's version, specifically that second verse. You know, the one where he's rapping about getting pulled over by the police. It's intense, and I've always wondered how much of that is based on, real life.
Well, Jay-Z himself has said that verse is drawn from his own experiences. Back in the 90s, just imagine, you're a young black man, you're driving through New York City, you've got something in the car you probably shouldn't have, and then you get pulled over.
Oh, man.
The tension, the fear, the knowledge that, one wrong move could change everything. That's what he's channeling in those lyrics.
Yeah, you can really feel that weight, that sense of, like, everything hanging in the balance. And he even raps about, knowing his rights, refusing to let the officers search his car. Was he legally in the right there?
So he name drops the Fourth Amendment right way, which protects against unreasonable searches and seizures. And this is where things get kind of interesting, legally speaking. It gets a little gray.
Okay, I'm intrigued.
Jay-Z was totally right to ask if he was being detained and to refuse consent for a search. That's solid. But the police, they can ask a driver to step out of the car during a traffic stop. And they don't always need a warrant to search a vehicle if they have probable cause.
Oh, so it's not as clear-cut as it seems in the song.
Exactly. It's nuanced.
Yeah.
But what's really important is the message he's sending. This experience wasn't just about a traffic stop. It was about power dynamics, about that feeling of being targeted because of your race.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That's something a lot of people can relate to, even if they're not up on the finer points of, like, the Fourth Amendment,
Totally. It's a feeling that transcends the legal specifics. And speaking of things that jump out in that verse, there's that one word he uses, bitch. There's been a lot of talk about that, and I know you've got some insights into what it really means in this context.
Yeah, that one word is a perfect example of how Jay-Z uses language to kind of, like, play with our expectations.
Right.
In his book, Decoded, he actually says that the meaning of bitch changes with each verse.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, and verse 2, he's not using it in a derogatory way towards women. He's talking about the police dog.
Wait, what? The dog?
The K-9 unit, the one that never showed up.
Whoa. See, this is why I love a deep dive. There's always something new to uncover. It's like he's dropping these clues, making us think and question what we think we know.
He's definitely a master of wordplay. And that's just the second verse. We haven't even touched on the bigger picture stuff, the social commentary in verse 3, the impact the songs had, that iconic music video. There's so much more to explore.
All right. You've definitely got me hooked. Let's keep digging.
It really is amazing, like, how a song with, a seemingly simple hook can spark so much discussion and debate.
Right. It's catchy, but it's also got this depth to it. You mentioned earlier that 99 Problems has gotten some serious critical acclaim. Just how big of a deal are we talking here?
Oh, it's a big deal. We're talking consistently ranked among the greatest songs of all time.
Okay, lay it on me.
Rolling Stone, they put it at number 172 on their updated list of the 500 greatest songs of all time.
Wow, that's impressive.
And get this, on their list of Jay-Z's best songs, it comes in at number 4.
That's saying something. The man has a ton of hits.
He does. And of course, we can't forget the Grammys it won for Best Rap Solo Performance.
Right, a Grammy winner.
But, its legacy goes way beyond just awards. There have been some, incredibly memorable covers and performances. Ever seen Barry Chuckle's version?
Wait, Barry Chuckle. Like, to you, Barry
The
Chuckle.
one and only.
I gotta see that.
It's out there, trust me. A children's entertainer taking on 99 problems.
Uh-huh.
It's a trip.
I bet. And speaking of memorable performances, we can't forget Jay-Z performing it at Obama's inauguration.
Oh, yeah, that was a moment.
He even changed the lyrics, replacing bitch with Bush, and the crowd went absolutely wild.
Talk about using your platform, right? But let's shift gears a bit. Let's talk about the music video for 99 Problems.
Yeah, it's not just a visual for the song. It's like a whole other layer of the story.
Right. I've always been curious about the style of that video.
Mhm.
It's got such a distinct look. It was directed by Mark Romanek, and they were really intentional about going for a gritty, almost autobiographical feel. It's shot entirely in black and white, which gives it that raw, documentary-like look.
And didn't they film a lot of it in Jay-Z's old neighborhood, the Marcy houses in Brooklyn?
We did. You see these glimpses of his childhood, the environment, the streets he walked, the people he knew.
Yeah.
It's a visual representation of the world that shaped him, the experiences that fed into those lyrics.
Powerful stuff. And then, of course, there's that ending.
Ah, yes. The shooting scene.
Controversial for sure.
It was a deliberate choice, sparked a lot of conversation. But for Jay-Z and Romanek, they saw it as a metaphor. The death of Jay-Z, the persona, and the birth of Sean Carter, the man behind the music.
So it's like a transformation, shedding a skin, moving into a new chapter.
Exactly. But, as we're talking about all these layers, it occurs to me, we haven't really dug into that third verse yet.
It always felt different to me, almost like a separate story within the song.
You're picking up on something important. Remember how we talked about the meaning of bitch changing in each verse?
Yeah.
Well, in verse 3, it's not about a dog. It's about a specific type of person he encounters in his life.
Okay, so if it's not the dog in verse 2, and it's not directed at women, who is he talking about in that third verse?
He's describing this person who's all no action, someone who tries to bring him down but doesn't really have anything to back it up.
So he's calling out those who try to tear him down, but their criticisms are hollow.
That's it. He even says he's praying for him because, well, he understands that this kind of behavior often comes from a place of insecurity, a need for attention.
It's almost like he sees through their facade, He
Yeah.
recognizes their own struggles even while he's pushing back against their negativity.
And it doesn't end there. He also calls out the system itself as a problem. Specifically, he mentions the Kit Kat again.
What's he getting at with that line? It feels loaded.
It is. He's pointing to those systemic issues, especially how the justice system can trap people, particularly black men, in a cycle of incarceration. The Kit Kat, again, could be a reference to that repetitive nature of being in and out of prison, that feeling of being stuck.
So the second verse is this personal experience, right? But the third verse pulls back, looking at the wider context. It's those bigger societal forces that can feel so overwhelming, like, 99 problems.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And yet, even with all that weight, there's this sense of defiance, a refusal to be defined by those problems.
That's something I've always admired about Jay-Z. He's faced so many obstacles, but he never lets them break him.
It's a powerful message. Even when you're facing 99 problems, you still get to choose how you respond, how you define yourself.
Okay, I think we've officially unpacked every layer of this song. From the lyrics to the music video, the cultural impact, 99 Problems is really an elite of its own. Storytelling and social commentary all wrapped up in this incredible beat. Time to bring it all home. Man, I'm telling you, it's incredible how much we found just by looking at one song, 99 Problems. It's not just catchy, it's a story.
Yeah.
It makes a statement. It's a piece of history, all in one.
And that's the beauty of it, right?
Yeah.
It works on so many levels. You can enjoy it just for what it is, but when you dig deeper, it just gets more and more rewarding.
Like we peeled back all these layers,
Mhm.
all this complexity just waiting to be discovered. It makes me think about how many times I listened to this song and didn't even realize like half of what was going on.
That's the sign of truly great art, though, isn't it? It's got to have that staying power, that ability to connect with people in different ways, different points in their lives.
And 99 Problems has definitely done that. I mean, it started legal debates, it sparked political discussions. I bet it's made a ton of people just stop and think about their own lives.
Oh, absolutely. It shows you how powerful music can be, as a cultural force. It can be fun and catchy, but it can also make you think,
Hmm.
make you question things, even like change your whole perspective.
Which brings me back to those aha moments we were talking about before. I mean, we had a few during this deep dive. Like that whole thing about the word bitch and how the meaning changes in each verse, it blew my mind. I hear the song totally differently now.
It's those little discoveries, those light bulb moments that make these deep dives so fun. And I think it's a great thing for our listeners to take away from this. Whether it's a song, a book, a piece of art, even just a conversation, there's always more to find. You just got to be willing to dig a little deeper.
You know, you always hear people say knowledge is power, but I think it's more than that. It's about understanding, making connections, seeing things a little more clearly.
And that's what 99 Problems really pushes us to do.
Right?
It asks us to look beyond the surface, question what we think we know, and find our own meaning in the stuff we encounter every day.
So to wrap this whole thing up, let's leave our listeners with a little something to chew on. What are your 99 problems? And just as important, what's not a problem for you? What's worth stressing over? And what's just background noise?
Those are some great questions.
Mhm.
At the end of the day, it's not just about the problems themselves, it's about how we react to them, how we let them or don't let them define us.
Well said. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive into 99 problems. Keep those brains working, keep asking those questions, and we'll catch you on the next one.